Right, so we're in the dungeon room. We've got Rachel and Ron, who's in this small hall here. We've got a huge pot there for cooking humans. And I'm going in here. So, as you can see, dungeon this way. That's a really tight space. I'm going to shut this door so I can't hear them. Now, I was talking about the boy who was bricked up, the blue boy. Now, I don't know if this, I mean, it's a hole in the wall. It could be. But if you see here, we've got a very tight doorway that I can only just fit in. Okay, so I'm going to close the door behind me. There we go. So now I'm locked in. Now, on the wall here, look, you can see scratch marks in the wall. That's supposedly 43 scratch marks in the wall. And marks here made by prisoners who were stuck in here. If you go here, look, each one represents a day that they were locked in this cell. And it's a tiny cell. I mean, I cannot stretch my arms from one side to the other. If you look, one hand, and I'm stood against the wall at the other. I've got a little tiny, there's a piece of glass in there now, but there wouldn't have been a piece of glass in there back in the day. That would have just been open. And the scariest bit, let me just change, sit on this little box. So, if you remember us talking about the executioner earlier, you put prisoners in here. I mean, look how tiny that door is. It's tiny. And then he would dismember prisoners, chop their arms off or chop a leg off, and he would throw them down here. See if I can get a good picture. Now there would be a small room down the bottom of there. Let me just can't turn it around. There'd be a small room down the bottom of there, and I'm going to spin it around. There'd be a small room underneath the castle down there in the dirt, and what would happen was he would, as I say, dismember them. You'd be stuck in this room, you'd be thrown in here, and then he would throw the person down there. No ladders, no way out, and you would be just left to rot in there till you die. Basically, nobody would come and get you out. So any prisoner that was in here, if there was a fresh, so to speak, person that was thrown down the oubliette, then that was it, I'm afraid. You'd have to sit in here and listen to that person screaming in pain, agony, dying of thirst, bleeding to death, hunger, and then after all that you would get the terrible stench of that person stuck down the oubliette, rotting away. And while you were stuck in here with no light whatsoever, you wouldn't be able to see anything, it'd be pitch black. Not knowing when you was going to be executed, dragged out, freed. And I'm sure that it wasn't just one person that was in here. You wouldn't be here on your own. There'd probably about, I don't know, I cannot say, but 10, 12 other people in here at some point. So, I'm just going to put the spirit talker on. That's my stomach, I do apologise about that. Just bear with me 1 second while I put this on. Right. Oh, is it still up to the speak? No, it should be fine. Excuse me, what I just set up there. Right. So I'm calling out to any prisoners that have spent any time in this cell, any time in history, anybody who was thrown down the oubliette to your painful, horrible death. If there is anything you would like to say to me, if there's anything you'd like to do to me.
Paranormal.
So the first word that comes out, paranormal. Is there anybody here, please, that'd like to speak to me, affect me in any way, make me pass out, make it so the door opens?
Andrea.
Andrea. Oh, not again, thank you. Could you bang on the door for me, please? Or make a noise? Make a groaning sound for me? Just to let me know that you're here. Wow, big orb just went up the screen there then. And honestly, it's really quite damp in here and cold. I mean, I've seen this. I've had to put a hoodie on because it's that cold. It's absolutely freezing in this room. Caves. There's probably caves underneath me, down into the oubliette, because that is just a sudden drop into the earth. So are you telling me that's where you were? Could you give me your name at all, please? I just want to know your story. Could you tell me what you was thrown down there for, or why you was put into this cell? Is there anything you could do? You could make this man trap.
Alice.
Make this man trap move. Do something to affect me. Knock my light over. There's a noise then, just outside the door. Could you whistle? Could you copy me? Started to feel a little bit dizzy. My head's spinning a little bit. I'm getting a pain in my top. Him. Getting a pain in my top right hand jaw. Is that you? Are you affecting me? And there is a little light on in here, which obviously you wouldn't have had back in the day. So if I turn that light out, and I turn this light off, I mean, you're not going to be able to see much, but okay, could you turn that light out for me? Could you make it so it becomes pitch black in here for me, please? Again, that's my stomach, I do apologise.
Stella.
Stella. Getting a lot of ladies' names. I mean, are these the ladies that were in in these cells. Why are we suddenly not? Okay, I'm going to throw something into the corner of the room. I wonder if you
Key
could,
push.
if you could throw it back, please. Throw something at me. Really bang hard on that door, please, for me. I want you to make me scared. Well, you don't have to make me scared. I'd just love you to communicate with me, please. I mean, that would be better. You might not want to scare me. Don't see why everyone always thinks that spirits, if you do exist, will want to scare somebody. I'd just like you to communicate, please, with me. Tell me how scared you were trapped in this room. Use this box that I have just here to communicate with me.
Atmosphere.
Atmosphere. Oh, yeah. Change the atmosphere for me. Make it colder for me if you can. Would you whisper something to me, please? Just your name. Anything, so I know that there's somebody around, there's someone present. Maybe they know who's been in here talking to you. Maybe you haven't been able to tell your story. I can see the initials WG on the wall there. AS. Do we have a William? Or an Alan?
I trust you.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm so glad that you trust me. If you would like to tell me anything, please. If you was wrongly convicted, if you have a message for any of your family. I mean, do you know that you've passed on? You may have died in here, or you may have been dragged out and tortured. If there's anything you would like to say to me, please. It's starting to get a little bit colder in here. The temperature is starting to drop. I can feel my legs getting a little bit colder.
Anomaly.
Wow, I've just seen with my own eyes, just there, an anomaly, a light source. It's like a flash of light, like a little orb, but I saw it with my own eyes. Could you do that again, please, for me? That was you making your presence known. Could you please do that again? For a really strong dizziness.
Careful.
I'll be careful, but I'm happy for you to come and affect me. I'm getting really, really dizzy. Just seen a shadow as well now at the corner of my eye. Unfortunately, off bloody camera, it's always the same. When you can see my shadow there, you know, that's my shadow. But it wasn't that because I wasn't moving. Come on, that's fine. You're starting to trust me now. My name is Gary. And honestly, I'm just here to hear your story. I would just love to know what your thoughts were. If you had any regrets, what you did, why you was here. Were you part of the...
Earl.
You was an Earl. Was that your name? Or was that your position? Because I know there were some earls that were tortured. You tell me now if he was Scottish or if he was English.
Occurrence.
Please just. Whoa. That was huge orb that just went there in front of the camera. And I didn't see any dust at all. There is no dust flying around in here. Thank you, that was amazing. I just heard a little bit of scratching. It just sounded like a little tiny bit of scratching somewhere. Is that you scratching another day on the wall? If it is, could you make it louder for me, please?
Dare.
Okay, I dare you to. Again, another orb down the bottom. Come on, I dare you to affect me. I want you to make me pass out on the floor, please. Maybe how you felt. Maybe you was to pass out with exhaustion or lack of food or drink. That's my stomach again. I'm getting a smell of. I know it sounds so obvious, and I hate it when these things happen because, you know, you're watching it at home and you're just like, oh yeah, whatever. But there is a slight smell of rotting flesh now. Very slight smell.
More.
More. I'd love you to do more, please. Please do more. So I know that you're here. Affect me more. Make me drop the camera. I can hear a murmuring in the background, but that is Rachel and Ron.
Painful.
You're telling me it was painful, was it? Thank you for interacting at last. Thank you for coming through. I did ask you to give me how it felt in here, and it was painful. Could you tell me what was painful? Was it an injury? Or was it just psychological pain? I know that'd be hard for you to put into words, but if you could find a way, that would be fantastic. Or give me the name of the man that did it to you, made you feel pain. Sorry if this upsets you to think back on it.
Don't be alarmed.
Honestly, I am not alarmed. Could you please open the door for me? Just like you would probably have sat in here pleading for someone to open the door for you, to let you out. Wow, there was a bang in here then.
Your name.
My name, I've told you, my name is Gary. Could you tell me your name, please? I know I did ask you to say your name, but I was taking it quite literally. Please, we've only got another minute or so together for tonight. Could you please, please, please tap on the door at least if you can. Take some of my energy if you need it.
Obviously.
Obviously you need it. Might have been a long time since you've used your energy. So take some of mine, please. Whoa. That was huge. If that is you, thank you for showing yourself. thank you very much. That's time up. It was about 20 minutes. Well, it's been a pleasure trying to communicate with you. And I wish you every luck in whatever it is, wherever you are.
No, it's not.
It's not time up, is it not? Well, then you can follow us upstairs. We're going to go and talk again, and we're going to have other machinery like this where you can talk to us and communicate with us. And if we do, just say that if I know it's you and you want to come and talk to me upstairs, just say the word dungeon. Okay? Any way you can, on any instrument that you can. Just say the word dungeon or torture, and then I will know it's you, and I'll know that you'll want to communicate with me. And that would be amazing. Okay, if that's your name, I don't know if you can see that. There's a A and an S. I don't know what that will be. T and a W or something, or a C and a W. It's really hard to work that out. A W and a G. And then again, all these scratch marks. That somebody that was locked in this tiny, tiny room. I mean, let me see how many what it is. It's 1, 2, 3, 3.5 paces across by 1 pace across. I'll hold this camera at face height, it's at the same height as my face, and that's the door. If I put my arm to the door from one side to the other, it goes to my elbow. That's how narrow this doorway is. Oh my god, I can't even get my shoulders through. Right, well, thank you very much. Really appreciated that. Right. Hi. Got some, a few orbs. I'm just,
We've been getting some right orbs.
yeah, I have.
We've had,
I can't see it because
on
it's
the
light
ice
on it.
box, collect water
Wow.
and then free. You know when I said you don't have to pay?
Yeah.
And then we got
Discernment.
and then I said, oh, is it a secret? And then it said illegal in the library. The papers would have been
Papers,
in the
yeah.
library.
Well, there's a hole in that dungeon. I'm not sure if that's where the boy was. There's a hole in the wall.
We asked.
Right. I'll just say goodbye over here anyway. So enjoy yourselves, because you'll obviously have seen theirs and you'll see mine.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you in live.